World building. I like it. I think you probably like it if you're here. And so it shall be. Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Endeavorance. It is Wednesday. It's May. The last stream was... Is it the 8th? 8th. Yes! And also a year. We're starting off strong. Let me tell you. So, how's it going? It is Wednesday, my dudes, which means that it is indeed a day for world building. We have been building for the past 2 weeks a small, it's modest, it's a small concept of a world. It's sort of a basis for us to hang out and theorize. So today we are going to we're gonna wrap that up. We're gonna answer a few burning questions within the world, and we are going to put it together and call it good and move on, because the thing that we shouldn't be doing is dwelling. The thing that we should be doing is creative expression. Yay. So we're gonna get to that in a little bit. We've got some other stuff to cover before we get there. We're not gonna jump right in, but that's what we'll be doing later today. Let's say hello to people. Let's see. Who here? Who here? So first to chat. Sounds like rebellion propaganda to me. First to chat was sound alerts, which I didn't know that I had sound alerts still like attached to this channel. That is the original service that I was using to do the like stream redeemable sounds. That. But I haven't used it. This is like 2 services behind. Like, I stopped using it and started using Stream Elements, and I stopped using Stream Elements and started using my own thing. I forgot that sound alerts was even a part of this channel. But when I went live, it was like, hey, there's been an update, but we need new permissions. Can reconfigure it on the panel, and that was the first chat of the stream. And so sound alerts got the ball today, which is truly hysterical. So whoops, but hello sound alerts. Hello Inky, hello Coffee Mom, hello Jazz, hello Shard, hello Names Bond 007, hello Swordplay and Sorcery, hello Kaz, hello Hari, hello Mia, hello Crimson, hello Seth, hello Cotton, hello Bubbles, hello Ollie, what's up Sylvie, how go, and hello Bryce, and hello Tina Book. I got you in there just under the wire. Under the wire. My God. All right, we have a new button that people have been pressing. It looks like Inky just pressed the shiny new button. It also looks like Cotton pressed the button and Mia pressed the button, which is to say there's a new redeemable. Since we are doing automated dice rolls for subscribers and whatnot, I missed doing the physical dice rolls as well. So I've added, this is a first attempt. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what changes. But I've added a new redeemable called Dev Rolls Dice. Here's how it works. I'm setting this precedent right now. You can redeem Dev Rolls Dice. You can redeem it as often as you want. You can all save up and redeem it all at the same time. This is Dev Rolls Dice. How many dice are going to get rolled? What dice are going to be rolled? How are they going to be rolled? Where are they going to be rolled? We'll find out. It's a choose your own adventure, and by that I mean it's an I choose your adventure of dice rolling. So I think this is really good. I think this is good and healthy, because the more that I have control over your destiny, the better. I think we can all universally agree on that. So we've got several of these to do now. Good, perfect. This is exactly what I want. Will they ever be rolled? Yes, I'm about to do that. But first I need to explain one more quick thing, which is that Coffee Mom redeemed a hydrate. Now, if I'm being my full honest self, I wasn't super prepared going into tonight's stream. And from a like getting my ass in chair perspective, like I got into this room like minutes before going live. And here's the thing is that I forgot to bring water. So today we are hydrating with an unnamed sports drink of a flavor that I don't know if I like it. I probably don't, because it's not orange. And pretty much every unnamed sports drink flavor that's not orange is trash. Which is not true. I don't actually believe that, but I'll stand by it just to put out some fighting words. Engagement bait. All right, here we go. The blue is orange flavored though? I'm sorry? No. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so, actually. No. I don't think so. No. I don't. I don't think so. I'm going to, next time that hydrate gets redeemed, I'm going to go get water. I need to wash that taste out of my mouth. Okay. So, let's roll dice. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice redeems. Let's roll some dice. We're back to having a dice roll stream. Let's fucking do it. Here we go. All right. No signal. Camera. Look at this beautiful shot. Oh my. Hold on. We can do better. We can do better. Perfectly framed. Absolutely perfect. No notes. Love the nails. Thank you. They're very good right now. They're really super great also. Oh. Crimson rolled a 17. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, first up, I'm gonna roll for Mia. Here's how we're gonna do it. Hello, Renister says gonna lurk dev at work. Don't snitch. I won't snitch, I promise. Hello, Newmac. Hello, hello, hello. And Paige and May, thank you again for the compliment on the nails. Crimson says, no, the Glacier Blue is my favorite flavor of Gatorade. Is that what this is? This is Glacier Freeze. I don't know if that's the one that you're talking about or not. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna roll a D4 for Mia to determine how many D20s to roll. There's a 3. Mia's getting 3 D20s. 15, 4, and 2. What is that? 21? All right. Now rolling for Cotton. I'm going to roll the big D20 to determine how many... yeah, I'll do the big D20 to determine how many little D20s. Hell yeah. Here we go. This could go really good or really bad. Fuck. 15 D20s for Cotton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 17 plus 17. 5, 10, 1. Dev hurts himself in confusion. 11, 7, 9, 13, 9, and 8, 6, 18, 5, 3 for 139. Now, I don't have it set up to associate these roll results with your account, so it's not going to show up in your roll history, but here's the thing about that. Deal with it. All right. That was Cotton. Inky wants me to roll some dice. Inky, I'm gonna roll a sneak attack, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna roll sneak attack That's like 3d6. But first I have to roll to see if I hit. So I'm gonna roll for hit against Inky. What's your AC? What's your AC, Inky? I think your AC is 14. Well, I guess I've got a plus. Do I have a +2 to attack? Do I have a +2 to attack? I don't. I do. I'm pretty sure I do. So it's not a crit, but 3d6. Here we go. 2, 2, 4 for a total of 8. Ollie would like some dice rolls. Let's see. I'm gonna roll a chicken to determine how many eggs should be rolled. We're gonna finally solve the question of chicken versus egg. That's how this works. How many eggs? How many eggs does Ollie get? 2. Ollie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you get 2 eggs. This is barely enough for an omelet. That's a 3 and a 3. That's a 6. Tina Book wants a dice roll. All right. How about I'm gonna roll? I'm gonna throw this rubber D20 behind me, and I'm going to then count how many seconds it takes me to find it, and add that to the dice result. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Found it. It was 5 seconds. I'm amazing. And it was a 4 is what it rolled. So that's a 9. Lastly, Kryptonite wants a roll. All right. We're gonna roll the big boy and the even bigger boy. Okay, well, the even bigger boy is cocked. We're gonna give that the 12. 12 and 7. 19. Wolves, 273 wolves wants dice rolled. For you, I'm gonna roll all of the dice in the chicken set, except for the chicken. Four, 2, 6, 6, 2, 5. 25. We did it. And that is Dev rolls dice. Oh. That is a pretty dice color, Mia. Mia, that's such a pretty dice color. Aw, I like that. I need to add more dice customization options. I really want to do that, and I have the ability to do so. Here's the problem. I keep not doing that. But what's exciting is that the system that I'm using to like do the digital dice rolls and whatnot, like the on-screen dice rolls, it lets you choose and use like 3D model textures, like the same way that they do for like video games or whatever. So you can actually get like custom dice textures and whatnot, and it even actually comes with a few. So currently it's just using like the default, I think it's just called like plastic or whatever, but they've got like a wood grain one and like a metallic one, and you can also, like, if you find somebody who knows how to do 3D texturing, you can make whatever you want. So I might find someone, actually I know somebody who does 3D texturing whose name is Lilith, I think does 3D texturing, maybe. But look who's out here re-upping their sub like some kind of hero. 11. Thank you, Cotton, for the gifted sub. But yeah, Milo says, Ayo, we can customize our dice. Yeah, so right now the dice just use whatever color that you've set. So if you've used the ! color command to set a color for yourself in my stream chat, the dice will match whatever color you've chosen whenever you end up having dice rolled on your behalf. what I want to do is add a redeemable that lets you then change the like texture of your dice to have like gem dice and wood dice and metal dice and so on and so forth, which is cool. Does the ball not show on the emojis, or is the max 2? I don't know. Also, yes, I should unspread Hari. I don't know what you're asking. Does the ball not show on the emojis? The emojis when people talk. Oh, the owner of the ball. Okay, yes. So Jazz has the ball currently? Oh yeah, for whatever reason, the ball icon's not showing up. That's a good bug. Adding it to the bug list. Ball icon isn't showing up in user badges on stream. Okay, fixed. Well, not fixed, but logged. Dev, it's pronounced like Harry. Got it. Thank you. I will remember that. Neat. I've got 2 things I want to talk about before we get into world building. Now that we've done all the rolling and whatnot. Ball life indeed. We love the ball. Give the ball to Sylvia. Someone give Sylvia a ball. Come on now. Give Sylvia a ball. Just as a treat. Sylvie does so much for us, and we never give her the ball. Okay, 2 things I want to talk about, maybe 3, before we get to world building, but we'll get there soon enough. So, I am amazing. This is the first thing I want to talk about, is that I am astonishing. I am resplendent, and I am a walking manifestation of perfection. And the reason is because my laziness beat out the government's ineptitude. Sounds like rebellion propaganda to me. So, I, like, years ago, like 2019, which is 5 years ago, was 2019. 5 years ago, in the year of our Lord 2019, which was again 5 USDA approved years ago, I got a car and I paid it off. And when you pay off your car, like if you get a loan, okay, so if you're not, okay, here's the thing. When you buy a car, if you get a loan, you know, technically the bank owns the car until you pay off the loan. When you pay off the loan, they release the title or whatever of the car, and you are now the owner. In the vast majority of states that are united, in these United States of ours, for the vast majority, when you pay off your car loan, the local, like, driving authority, usually the DMV or whatever, just mails your car title to your address on file, right? Like, you paid off your loan, here's your car title, you are now the owner of the car. In my dumbass state, at the time that I bought the car, that was not the case. You had to schedule an appointment, gather a bunch of documentation, and go into the DMV and have an appointment there to request your title. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I don't want to do, I don't need it. Like, you only need a title of a car if you're like selling it or transferring it or something, which I'm not doing. I bought this car to drive it. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care. If something like that came up, then I'll go do it. But like, this is I don't have to do this until I actually need to situation. So I went to go renew my driver's license yesterday. And I went to my you know, the DMV website or whatever, and I renewed my license. But lo and behold, there's a new button that is request a duplicate title for your car and have it mailed to you. So I waited out the government long enough that they implemented the thing that I wanted them to have in the first place, before doing the thing that I didn't want to do because they didn't have the thing I wanted them to do. I think that's a very clear way of explaining it. Names Bond 007 says, why? What title? Confused in European. Fair. Very fair. So, it's just the like deed of ownership, basically. Like the document that says you own this thing, the bank holds on to that until you pay off your loan on the car. Which I did, but my state did not facilitate the transfer of ownership of that to me. They would have had me have to go in and do a whole bunch of extra garbage. So instead, I didn't do that. And then they fixed it. And so I never had to go do the thing I didn't want to do. What I'm trying to say here is if ever there's a thing that you don't feel like doing, just don't do it. And eventually everything will work out in your favor. That is the lesson that I've learned here today. So. Crim the Varmint, hello, says you're lucky. I still have to go in for them to remove the lien. The duplicate title I could request, but I still had the lien. Oh God, I really hope that that's not the situation for me. Oops. Hopefully that's not the case. I also it's just the dumbest thing. Like, it's the stupidest thing ever to, like, I own the car, but there's a piece of paper somewhere that's more important than the fact that I own the car. Propaganda to me. James Bond says we have that in the car paperwork that you have to take, that you have to have had in the car for the police. That sounds so annoying. We don't inherently require that to be in the car. We have registration, which is different from the title. So like you have to have your car registered and you have to have the registration in your car, which is different from like the deed of ownership of the car, which is different from your auto insurance, which is different from your license, which is, welcome, this is America. In America, we have a lot of dumb bullshit. Meg says, if we're avoiding problems, do you think if I just leave the raccoon that's currently in my living room / house alone, then it'll go away on its own? No, here's the thing. You ignore your problems, they're gonna go away, but it's not gonna be in the way that you expect. It's sort of a monkey's paw situation. You can ignore the raccoon and the problem of having a feral raccoon in your living room will go away because it'll become domesticated. It's just gonna become a roommate. So you won't have a feral raccoon in your living room. You'll have an upstanding member of the household in your living room who probably poops and pees on your carpet and eats all your trash. Just like a normal roommate. Seems like a win to me. DMV is dumb. I strongly agree. Strongly agree. Sounds like a cool roommate to me. Pooping on the floor, peeing on the carpet. It's good stuff. Harry says, might not learn to drive so that I don't have to deal with so much paperwork. Honestly, a good play. Like, if you don't need to drive, I would never encourage people to get a car. I just would not. It's not, if you are in a situation where you do not need it, don't get a car. Keep it that way. I remember being mind blown because I grew up in the suburbs. If you didn't have a car, you weren't going anywhere. And then I met some friends in college and whatnot who were like, yeah, I don't have a driver's license. I'm like, what? Because when I was growing up, it was that was the thing that you did, was you just ran as fast as you can towards getting a driver's license the second that you were old enough to do so, because that's akin to freedom. Having a driver's license where I grew up was akin to autonomy, which is just not the case for most people. And if you can get around by public transit, by foot, by bike, by whatever, the things that I'm concerned about would be okay, what if I need to get somewhere and it's pouring down rain or something, umbrella to doy, but hauling things, sure, but it's actually relatively rare that I do that. Having a house means that like I do feel like I need a car because I need to be able to go do stuff, but like I could potentially get away with not having a car if I wanted to. I would much prefer a world where it's like, I don't know, just like have communal cars. Like not everybody, like I don't want, or I frequently don't want to use my car in certain situations where it's like I would drive, but having my car is a liability here. I would prefer to have something that's like much smaller, or in some cases much bigger with bigger towing capacity. It would be much nicer if I could just go to my like community's car lot and just take the car that I need for that time. So I didn't get my first car until I was 26. If you don't need it, you don't need it. Krim says, this is why I want to move to Europe. A lot of places over there are built with walking in mind. Yeah, it's like, imagine a walkable town. Imagine having a walkable city that you live in. That'd be nice. Kiki Ruby 123 has redeemed Hydrate. It's terrible. It's so bad. It tastes like death. It's unnatural. This is what I would expect that the blight spell from D&D tastes like. Like this is necrotic damage. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh god. Trip says, Sylvie, to make it funnier, local mascot I saw had a rubber duck in my bag. Grabbed it and autographed his butt. We love an autographed duck. Oh god. Awful. Awful. I'm gonna go get water. And then we're gonna come back and do some world building. I've got one last thing I want to talk about, but it's gonna be a great segue into world building. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I just need to go get some water because this is unacceptable. This is terrible. Christoph Dan 187 says, I feel like I came in at a bad time with no context. This is the only liquid that I have out here with me right now, and it's bad. So I'm gonna go get some water instead, and I'll be right back. And when I get back, we're gonna do world building, and it's gonna be great, and it's gonna not taste awful. And here we go. Thank God. Mm. 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 Water. God, we love water here. Oh. Crimson, I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm gonna not. Probably not changing the topic. Let's see. I do have a thing I want to talk about before we get into doing the world building. And yes. Cool. So, thing I want to talk about before we get into world building. I am working on a TTRPG, as I've talked about before. So I'm working on a totally custom, brand new TTRPG from the ground up. I posted a little bit about this on my Patreon so far, and I'm going to be posting more about this tomorrow as well in the next like update video thing. I am super excited for how things are moving in that whole sort of space right now, which is I originally, several streams ago, talked about making a like world building app, and I was working on that for a while, and I liked how it was going, and then I basically got to the point where I realized, like, okay, I don't think that what I am building is going to be faster or more effective or more efficient and user friendly than just doing world building in Obsidian. So I took a bunch of the like stuff I learned from that and rolled it into a new project, which is what I do a lot of the time. I'll like get really excited about a project, start going really hard into it, realize that it's not really gonna work out the way I thought it would, but I've learned something, or I can take some significant chunk of it and roll that into a new concept. And I just kind of do that back and forth until something works. And I think I might have something that's going to work now, and I'm very excited. So I'm working on the TTRPG itself, which is supposed to be a very easy, very approachable, quick to learn, but still like very customizable and fun to play system. I want that system to also be purpose-built to be extended and modified with custom content. So you'll be able to bring your own setting and bring your own like abilities, items, everything. And then the third part of that is that I am building a web app for this TTRPG, which is a combination rulebook and character sheet manager thingy, like D&D Beyond is. And the idea is that it'll come with its own setting. It's got its own default setting. It's got its own all of its own, like, you know, default abilities and races and whatnot, all that stuff. In addition to that, you will be able to build your own homebrew for it and natively integrate that into the app itself. So let's say that you are a DM who wants to run a one-shot or something, or a whole campaign in a completely custom setting using this system. You can define all of your homebrew stuff, and I'm going to make tools to make it easy to like take your homebrew from Obsidian and make it work with the thing that I'm building. You'll be able to take your homebrew, bundle it up into a single file, like just a file on your computer or phone or whatever, and you'll be able to give that to your players, who can then import it into their version of the app to use your homebrew natively in the app. So your abilities, their like mana costs, and like managing, like, you know, casting those abilities and having it automatically update the character sheet and so on and so forth will all be handled within the app. And you'll just have a single file that is, this is, if you want to use my homebrew, just plug this in like a freaking like a game cartridge almost. So it's a sort of a three-part thing. The actual TTRPG itself, which is sort of just like an engine the default setting and stuff that goes into that engine, the app, and then there's a secret fourth part that I don't want to talk about yet because I haven't fully committed to it, but hype. So like this is all stuff that is not, I'm not just saying this is a thing that I have an idea for. This exists. It is not ready for beta yet. It is not even really ready for alpha testing. The first thing that needs to happen is I need to actually, one, get the TTRPG itself written. All of this extraneous stuff, this is all like additional scope that's going to take more time, but like I need to actually get the game itself written, as well as finishing out the system for making your custom stuff for the game, making those custom shareable homebrew files, stuff like that. So there's a ways to go, but the path, I like the path to completion is fully laid out and visible. Like there's no technical barrier between me and finishing this project, aside from just time and effort. So I'm very excited. It's something that it's the thing that I've always wanted. I've seen a little bit of, I'll follow up on the discussion. I've not really been reading chat as much, but I've seen a little bit of stuff like hype. This is going to be so approachable. This is going to make learning so much easier. That's the goal. I want it to be as approachable as possible to learn. If you've played D&D, or if you've played really any tabletop game that involves like rolling D20s or something, you'll be able to learn this in like 10 minutes. And that's the goal, at least. I'm writing specifically like onboarding like tutorials for if you're coming from D&D, if you've never played a tabletop game but you've watched an actual play or something, and then if you've never played a tabletop game in your life and you have no idea how they work. So like 3 different degrees of like, do you know how tabletop games work? Cool, here's the terms, you'll figure it out. And then like, okay, do you have generally an idea of how this stuff works? Okay, here's what you should know and go from here. And then the like, all right, you don't know what a dice is. Let's go. So yeah, like I know how difficult and intimidating it is to learn a new system, and I want to mitigate that as much as possible. And I feel that there's a huge win to be had between mitigating the difficulty of learning something, mitigating the difficulty of playing something by way of just having the character sheet system be easy, and then like getting a group together. This is a bit of a stretch goal. I can do this. I know how technically to do this, and like it's not going to be a challenge, but it's more of a how many extra features do I want to commit to thing. But I would ideally like to make it so that you can also have a shared campaign view, right? So like similar to how in D&D Beyond you can like join a campaign and it shows you everybody else's roles and stuff. I want to have that. It'll be a little simplified. You'll just like put in a code probably somewhere, like how Jackbox Games does it, where like the DM generates a code and gives it to you, you punch in the code, and it joins you to that group and shows you everybody else's roles. But here's a cool thing that I had an idea for. If I did make it so that the game's app thing can connect you to whoever else you're playing with, so that if you're playing with a group, you all have a shared like role feed. That feed could also have all of the ability usages, the damages that people are taking, as well as arbitrary notes. Like I would just make it so that there'd just be like a little chat box note thing, so that any player can just type in notes as the game is going on. And then at the end, everyone can just download the session log. And you literally don't lose anything. Like you could probably tell it like, we don't need to include all the extra information, just give me all the notes that everybody took. So that way the entirety of your table can work together to build session notes, and it gets saved and downloaded at the end. So things that I want, that I feel like every game should have, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat. Weedy Potter just subbed 2 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see what people are saying, because I just talked a lot. Like a lot. Talking about different flavors of Gatorade. Talking about Crab's Treasure. Talking about Daysbond says, if you make use of it, you didn't waste time learning about it. Absolutely. I feel very strongly about this, actually. I actually have words about this. Not a ton of words, because we should get to the world building at some point. But quick words, this. I like this sentiment, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. If you tried something and failed, you probably learned, even if you don't feel like you learned. There are plenty of projects that I go, like, set off to go do, where it's like, this is a waste of time. At least it feels like it. And then I realized later on, like, oh, wait, no, I did this before. And now it's actually going to be useful. So, like, it's never truly a waste of time. And if you're having fun regardless, it's not a waste of time. Homebrew posting. I absolutely want to have a place for people to share. I'll probably start it off by just making a channel in Discord to share the homebrew files for the system once it's up. But yeah. Harry says, Dev, that's actually fucking awesome. Thank you. I am very, very, very excited. Like, so very excited. Cotton says, what about homebrew posting through the app so people who don't know you can integrate your pieces? So like like an exchange in app. I really like the idea of being able to search for people's homebrew stuff. Like, I really like the idea of, like, I want to play a sci-fi campaign. Like, go to some search thing and search sci-fi and, like, find somebody's homebrew and just click use and it just does the thing. That sounds really cool. That would definitely be, like, an add-on. And, again, probably for the start, like, a channel in Discord would be good enough. Kiki says, I've been following you on TikTok for a long time, but I don't catch your streams often. I'm really excited that I caught this one. I really want to support your content because I love the way that you're open about mental health struggles and taking breaks despite the algorithm punishing it. My only question is, what in the heck is a dual plane dragon world? You have laid up perfectly going into the world building segment of this stream. So let's go ahead and do that. Jazz is gonna go smoke. Okay, have fun. I'm declaring chat bankruptcy. We're gonna do world building now. So, what is a dual plane dragon world? Let's jump in to that. Come on now. Come on now. Oh, wait, I know why it's not working. I know why it's not working. Boop. There we go. Got it. Cool. Oh, we are bankrupt? Not anymore, because I declared bankruptcy, and so now I'm rich. That's how it works, right? So, welcome. Welcome to the unnamed dragon world. So, I'm gonna go ahead and start just like trying to summarize everything as best I can, and then we're gonna build world. So, the world that we've been building is unnamed currently, and we just kind of like refer to it as the Dragon World, and we'll come up with a name for the world maybe eventually. Here's how this works. There are two planes of existence, and only two planes of existence. One of them is Dragonia, and one of them is Mortalis. In Dragonia, it is a plane of existence inhabited exclusively by dragons. If it is in Dragonia, it is dragon. They are just kind of flapping around, having a good time. We'll figure out more about what Dragonia looks like today, but all we need to know about Dragonia is that it's completely full of dragons, and that's it. Mortalis is like the planar inverse of Dragonia. It cannot have dragons. Like, they physically cannot exist. So, the way that it works is, what's going on here is everything in Mortalis is a mortal creature as opposed to an immortal dragon. Everything in Mortalis is a mortal creature whose soul is that of a dragon from Dragonia. What's happening is dragons are being pushed out of Dragonia into Mortalis, When that happens, since dragons can't exist in Mortalis, they are reincarnated into a mortal being. So they become the soul that starts new life. They might become a human baby or a bug, but every single thing in Mortalis is technically formerly a dragon. And none of them know that they're dragons. They don't remember being dragons. They have no notion of dragon. They only know their current life. However, they're all still technically associated with their dragon soul. So, there is a way to get back to Dragonia from Mortalis, which is the term that we've come up with it is Draconic Reconstitution. So, everybody in Mortalis can sort of like attune to their dragon's soul inside of them. If you do that, and if you are devout and you practice, I guess, like some kind of meditation or something, you end up gaining the ability to ascend and return to your form as a dragon. And that is called Draconic Reconstitution. And what happens then is you go back to Dragonia, keeping all of your memories, but you've morphed back into a dragon. There is a broken version of this called... did we call it upscaling? No. What did we call it? I don't know if we actually came up with a name for the other thing. So, if you don't reconstitute into a dragon... Hello, Lemon! How's it going? Hold on. Let me VIP you. Lemonami. Hello, hello. Oh. Okay. I don't know why it's not letting me VIP you for some reason, but... Got it. You should be VIP'd, I think. So if you talk after you're VIP'd, you'll get a shout out. Yay. Okay. So, what was I saying? Everybody go follow Lemon. Amazing person. So, you can end up turning back into a dragon and you go back to Dragonia. Cool. Understandable, right? But if you fuck that up, you end up, instead of turning into a full dragon and going back to Dragonia, you end up turning into a Dragonborn and you stay in Mortalis. You like only halfway reconstituted, but now you're a Dragonborn. And so the idea is there are two warring factions, basically. One faction, there are two like religions almost. One of them believes that the ultimate thing to do in life is to convert back into being a dragon and leave this plane and go back to Dragonia. They don't know what that is, but they think that they understand it to be significant. The other faction believes that the highest achievement in life is to become Dragonborn. As more people are becoming Dragonborn, they begin to destabilize Mortalis. Because Mortalis cannot hold dragons, and Dragonborn are like partially dragon. So they're destabilizing the world by doing this thing. And in doing so, they're looking at the world and they're like, oh wow, look at all this stuff that's going on everywhere. This must be the right thing to do. We should do this more. Well, what they don't realize is that they are causing the stability of their plane to break down, and the magic that is assaulting the plane from all around, sparking from Dragonia and going towards Mortalis, threatens to destroy their plane if they continue to do this. So long story short, Mortalis has a bunch of mortals who are all technically have the souls of dragons. There are two warring factions. One believes that the right thing to do in life is to attune to your dragon soul and return to Dragonia. The other one believes the right thing to do in life is to partially attune to your dragon soul and become Dragonborn. There is magic that is becoming more and more unstable as time goes on and these factions gain more power. And as far as we are aware, there's only one city in Mortalis. One giant central hub of stuff. So let's get to today. I have 5 goals on the board for things that I want to try to get done today on World Building Wednesday. The first is more info on the city. Then determine the physical shape of Dragonia. What does Dragonia look like? Name the BBEG, the big bad evil guy, who we haven't quite named yet. Finalize their story and motivation as well, and then tidy up the vault and prepare it to be thrown out into the ether. Which, by the way, everything that you're seeing here will be available, or is already available, and will be available to all of you to download as your own Obsidian Vault and edit as you see fit. And it is licensed under Creative Commons, so you can quite literally just go hard with it. Have fun. Just a moment. Adding Lemon's emotes to the stream. Okay, cool. Weedy Potter says, so if they succeed in breaking Mortalis, do they get sent back to Dragonia? I think they all just fucking die, actually, is the thing, right? Like, if they go back to Dragonia, actually, I don't hate it. I actually think that's kind of interesting. Huh. Let's make a random thoughts to consider. If Mortalis is completely destroyed, does everyone get sent back to Dragonia? Is that a bad thing? Cool. If they shatter the wall, wouldn't the planes just merge? What happens when you merge no dragon and only dragon? Do you get... Okay, well, Only Dragons sounds like a fantasy-themed adult website. Trip says, as well as all the dragon scale stuff and or is a part left in Dragonia that they can use to communicate to those on the other side. I think I'm missing... Possible third secret sect trying to end the pull and or Dragonborn to purge the magic from Mortalis. I don't recall covering that. Jamie says, what is up, Dev and chat? Hello, hello. We are doing some world building stuff. We are finishing out just a couple of a relatively small but fun concept, methinks. So, Lemon, again, thank you for the follow. Desert Burn, thank you so much for the follow. Only Dragons is going to be my new brothel in my next city. Perfect. Perfect, Christoph. Absolutely perfect. Kiki says, I feel like that would have negative effects on Dragonia. Yeah, I feel like... Yeah, or you're thinking of Bad Dragon. Of course, of course, of course. I feel like... merging dragon and no dragon sounds like a recipe for creating a new plane of, like... where, like, everything is busted. Like, all rules are broken. All right. All the mortals are killed, but the Dragonborn that think that they're all spiritually high get sent back to be full dragons. So you're saying, like, it could be that they're right. Which is fair. They could be. I can hydrate. I'm gonna add that here. Would the Dragonborns become dragons? Dragon human hybrids? Half dragon hybrids? We love half dragon hybrids. But I guess that's kind of what Dragonborn are, is half dragon hybrids. Let's we're already so far off of the things that I explicitly set out to try to answer today. Which is problematic because this is not like the way that I do world building is pretty much just like a ooh, and I run over into one corner of my world and do something, and then I go ooh and run over to a different corner. But here I'm trying to actually answer some questions and be practical. So, so in Mortalis there is the city, and I kind of almost think that it should just be called the city. I feel like that's fair. This, I believe, that we should have like one giant city on what is otherwise effectively a massive island that is always expanding, surrounded by some kind of ocean. We established last time that there is a metal that appears in the ground when a dragon comes over that border from Dragonia into Mortalis. It places Wyverium in the ground. It like appears and extends the ground that we live on top of. It's like it's coming out of a volcano almost, like the way that a volcano creates an island and like it widens from the edges. It's the same concept, but metal made from the body of the dragon when it moved across plains. Pretty fucking rad. Hello, Zuzu. Hey, Zuzu. What's up? So, what was I saying? Yes, the city. Big old donut-shaped city. So what we've already established is this is the main place in the world. Everything outside of the city is basically uninhabited wilds. The city is a giant donut shape. In the middle of the city is a bottomless void that emanates light. That is the literal manifestation of waves of magic coming from Dragonia. So the city is centered around effectively a portal to Dragonia that is one way and just is allowing magic to emanate up and out of Dragonia into Mortalis. That is at the center of the city. I'm kind of picturing this as like a mile wide, like a mile diameter hole. Not a small hole, a big hole. Like the kind of hole that you stand on the edge of. You're like, wow, that's a big hole. So Lemon says, I love when there's just a chasm in the center of places. It's so daunting. It's giving Sparta. Like the big hole that they kept in Sparta for kicking dudes into. It's like that, but even bigger. How many people just chuck stuff down there? That's a great question. That is a great question. What happens when people throw stuff in the big hole? Also, we should make a big hole document. So let's do that. Big hole. There is a big hole in the middle of the city, which radiates magical light, of which the source is the magic escaping Dragonia. Don't throw pennies into it. Desert Burns says, like the meteor crater in Arizona. Absolutely. Just a big old hole. What about throw scales? So maybe we should allow throwing things into it. Maybe it's my horror-oriented brain, but like people hiding bodies down there, right? Well, okay, that's interesting. Huh. I want to believe that if you throw something into the big hole, it gets like ejected. I think, yeah, what Milo is saying. Like it just like yeets you out of the hole into the sky and you just kind of go flying. So like if someone were to throw somebody else into the hole, they would go down and then get launched into the air. That sounds pretty good to me. If that's good for y'all. If something that is not a dragon is thrown into or falls into the big hole, it is cast high into the air from the sheer force of the magic emanating from the hole. Emanating. Okay. Love it. So, just big hole trampoline. I mean, probably yes, but it's sort of it's the kind of trampoline that you don't want to jump on because you would die. Like, it's not like a jump into the hole. Whee! It's not like I'm not picturing indoor skydiving. I'm picturing catapulted across reality. Do the dragons know about Mortalis? That's a question that we have not actually answered yet. Let's go to dragons. Dragons can only exist in Dragonia, and upon being pushed across planes into Mortalis, they are forced to take a new form and forget that they were a dragon. Creatures in Mortalis are all former dragons and do not know that they are dragons. They all carry dragon souls within them. They all share a concept of what a dragon is and believe them to be gods. So... don't care, I'm jumping. Do dragons know about Mortalis? I don't think so. I think it'd be more interesting if they didn't, because that would mean that like they probably know about it now, because anyone who was in Mortalis and reconstituted as a dragon preserves their memories. So they could go back to Dragonia and be like, hey y'all, there's another plane and there's like fleshy people there. And it's kind of fucked up. And those dragons back in Dragonia can be like, dog, that sounds wild. I don't like that. What's flesh? I hate it. Scales forever. Hashtag scales forever. I think dragons probably didn't know about Mortalis until getting dragged into it. Dragons are generally unaware of Mortalis, but a dragon who underwent draconic reconstitution would have their memory preserved and would be able to inform the other dragons about Mortalis. Coffee Mom says, I think it'd be more beautiful and mysterious if things thrown into the well dissipated in a way that looked like embers crawling across paper. So you're saying that if things that went into the hole in the ground sort of miraculously and beautifully vaporized, that would be more that'd be better than them getting fucking yeeted, just thrown, just gone, but just blasting off again, Team Rocket style. Is that what you're saying, Coffee Mom? It sounds like that's what you're saying. You're a donut. Hi, Cryptid. How's it going? Yes, and it would make more sense to have them build a city around it. You're not wrong, is the thing. You're really not wrong. I am going to change that because I just had a really fun idea. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's go to the big hole. In the big hole, something that's not a dragon falls into the big hole. It disintegrates in a sparkly white and blue light show. However, what if, hear me out, there's like one or maybe like a few people who fell into the hole, but like only partially disintegrated. And like now their body is part sparkly and like they're infused with magic. Like they're a half mortal, half magic hybrid, and like that can be the third faction, maybe. Like people think they're demigods or something, you know? So what do we think about that? Fucking hole sorcerers. Oh god. It's a whole new meaning to posting hole. Oh my god. They use their fingers for somatic components. Okay, I like that. I think let's call them. Okay, there exist a very small number of mortals who have managed to escape disintegration and now find themselves in a partially dissolved, partially disintegrated state where magic has taken over part of their body. Why can't I spell disintegration? There's an E instead of an I. Whatever. These are called sparklers. Name TBD. Holier than thou. Meg says, this is a hell of a time for me to be returning from ordering food. Dev's talking about showing hole on stream. Look. Like, at any given moment on this stream, the words I'm saying are not going to be reasonable. Weedy Potter says, okay, hear me out. The city has a yearly sacrifice to the hole. Could be a dragonborn or something made of metal from when a dragon comes through? Interesting. Lemon says, not showing hole, touching hole. Very different. Okay, I like what was just said about what Weedy Potter just said. So, let's go back to the city. There is an annual sacrifice to the big hole. Large donut shape. Being a bottom, let's change bottomless void to be a link. Big hole. Boop. The yearly yeeting into the hole. Hunger Games style with volunteers. I would bet it's probably a thing that is like associated with the good faction, right? Because the good faction can't just be like, we're good and holy and doing the right thing. Like, they need to be fucked up too, right? So the Sacred Wings, which is the group that properly returns to form, as opposed to the Order of the Soul Scales, which they're the ones that are trying to not go back into dragons. They want to be dragonborn. So the Sacred Wings should have their Christmas should be a ritualistic sacrifice. So every year, the Sacred Wings conduct a ritual sacrifice to the big hole in the middle of the city, tossing a living thinking creature into the hole. People have come to volunteer for this, seeing it as an honor to descend into the hole. Yeah. And maybe some of the sparkly people are people who were like botched sacrifices before people started seeing it as an honor. Maybe. Meg says, don't put ham in your ears, kids. Bad plan, TBH. Why are we putting ham in our ears? Why are we doing that? I don't think that's, why are we doing that? Is there a reason behind some people becoming half whole? Like something about their former dragon form or some weird mutation. Like they've been turned mortal too many times or something. Fascinating. Fascinating. Music. 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 I really love that. Lemon, I love that. Hold on. Okay, what causes people to end up half dissolved? Why are we sacrificing? What started that? I think it's just that they were like, it's a big hole. Milo's idea is solid. People volunteer in the hopes to get magic. Interesting. I just forgot that I was streaming and went off like on a train of thought for a second, for a while. You just saw a like whole ass look at what I look like when I'm alone doing world building, which is sort of got the head resting on the hand, got the fingers sometimes just like messing with the beard, 1,000-yard stare. Now we're cooking. Glazed over for real. Okay. So there's why? I'm gonna do open questions. Why did sacrifices start? Needs more info. Catching up on chat. Is there a reason behind some people becoming half? Yeah, so big hole. Needs name.
That is a
They're not going to be called sparklers. Ow! Brunch. 11 months. Hello. Congrats on the 141. I also saw the doctor is here. Dr. Antis is here. Hello, hello. And King of the Sea. Okay. Open questions. Why do some people end up this way? Is it because of who they are? Or did something happen? Or did someone else do something? I kind of have a vague idea of people being thrown into the big hole and there's someone else like teleporting them out just in time because they don't want them to go away or something. Unclear. Like I said, half an idea on that front. Catching up on chat more. Dev jumped in at the very end of a ham hole back and forth between Trips and I. Okay. Classic ham holes. Clarification of your world rules. Can mortals who were once dragons become dragons again, and how? Yes. So mortals are all former dragons. They don't know it. Any mortal can become dragons again by attuning with their dragon soul, essentially achieving enlightenment, at which point they will turn back into a dragon and by definition will be transported to Dragonia, because dragons cannot exist in Mortalis, they only exist in Dragonia. When they do that, they retain their memory too. Someone accidentally fell in, became Sparkler, they saw it as a divine thing, and try to keep that going. Okay. Maybe the first... Okay, I like the idea that the sacrifices... Yeah, like someone fell in, became a Sparkler, and then they're like, oh, well, damn. Well, once a year, we're going to try to do that again. No, actually, because then people would just be constantly trying to do it. It's got to be like a yearly, like a tradition. But let's go back to... Oh my God. So I wanted to do these things. And I keep not doing that because I'm terrible and keep forgetting. Do they regain their draconic memory? I think so. Wouldn't people try to destroy the sparkles at first? Probably they would think that they were horrific. Call the sparklers embers. Like it, like it, like it, like it, like it. Ember souls? How do I feel about ember souls? Or ember skins? You introduced Big Hole and thought we wouldn't spiral into that. Look. It's a feature of the city, which is a thing that I wanted to flesh out here. Ember touched. You become ember touched. More dramatic. It's all regulated by the sect. They push the first person in and monitor the border so that only the people they choose can be sacrificed from then on. Flesh out the whole. Do we need a fleshy... The problem... Here is the issue that I have with my stream chat. They're demanding that I put more into my fleshy hole. So that's where we're at on World Building Wednesdays. What are the reasons for them becoming embers is because they were dragon babies, like really young. So they didn't live that long as a dragon, and that's why they couldn't go back to being one. Well, falling in the hole, I think, just kills you. Like, it just tears you apart from pure magic. So maybe it's the sort of like other way around. Like, Christoph dances. I didn't realize it was that kind of stream. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe instead of they were baby dragons, maybe they were among the most powerful dragons. And so they are the only ones that can withstand having been thrown into the hole. And because of how powerful of a dragon they were and how powerful their soul is, they were able to withstand it and claw their way out of the hole, ending up ember touched. Which would mean that it's almost like a purity test. They would probably be very exclusive. I still don't want to make oppression. Oppression is not going to be a thing in this world. But they're probably, I would think that they are the most powerful of the Dragon Souls, but they're probably shunned by society, or they're seen as impure by the good, air quotes, the good sector. I was going pure soul, you went powerful soul. Interesting, that's a good point. There's a big difference there. I said depression and not oppression. There's no depression in this world. Everyone's perfectly fine. There's no mental illness here. Everyone's well adjusted. Man, truly we are working in a fantasy world. Everybody in our hole, fuck! Everyone in our hole. Now I've got hole on the mind. We're moving away from the big hole, okay? We're done. We're done with the big hole. God damn it. Whole world is fine. God. All right. How big is the hole? Over a mile wide. All right, what else? What other defining features are in the city? Let's at least just get something besides the big hole that's in the city. There's an annual sacrifice to the big hole. Okay, but what is here? Buildings, probably. The famous movie / book Holes was about the city. It's just the one though. It's just the one hole. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Tours of the hole. Come tour our hole. Oh God, we've ruined this world. Oh my God. Links are indeed allowed in chat. You said even the mortal animals were once dragons. Is the surrounding jungle filled with these animals? Yes. Yes, indeed. We only need the hole. We live for the hole. Statues or structures of what they believe dragons are like? Absolutely, yeah. Oh, good call, good call. Because they all like know the concept of dragon, but they don't know why. And so they're just like, is this gods? This must be gods. So what is here? The city is decorated with statues and artwork of what people believe dragons to be. This should range wildly from accurate to not even close, but sure. We have established that this is in a sort of like 20s 30s era, so like the city itself has nascent roadways for the recent advent of cars, but largely the streets are narrow and spiraling. I don't remember who recommended it, but I liked the idea of the like good church protecting the whole. When I hit go live, I didn't expect to say the phrase, I like the idea of the good church protecting the whole. I need a second. Just sort of like, What? Why even name the city anything but Big Holzberg? Look who's out here re-upping their sub. Thanks, Bird with the Glock. What's up? How's it going? Hey, Bird with the Glock, how do you feel about the church protecting their hole? How do you feel about that? Sacred Wings has a permanent watch and wall surrounding the big hole, protecting it and believing that their annual sacrifice, what do we call that? Did I actually... All right. Sacrifice. So here's a cool thing you can do in Obsidian. So I have a title, a subtitle here, a level 2 heading here in the Sacred Wings document. But over in the city document, I can say protecting it and believing that their annual sacrifice, I can do Sacred Wings. All right, so I've got the thing pulled up here, right? Now I can just type hash, and it gives me the various titles in the document. So I want to link directly to the sacrifice, which will give me a link directly to this section. However, I can also still name it sacrifice. And so now it just is a normal looking link, but when I click it, it brings me directly to the actual section within the note that I wanted to go to. And that is because Obsidian is the best. Christoph Dan says, what's this called? Obsidian? Yes, this is Obsidian. Let me pull up their website real quick like. There's the link. Yeah, so here's the website. It is a like super cool, very easy, actually free digital garden. It's a notes app, but it's on super hyper steroids. I'm going to make a YouTube video in the next couple of weeks, probably, doing a tutorial for Obsidian and sort of explaining why I love it, specifically for world building. So that'll be fun. Weedy Potter says, Dev, on behalf of the entire chat, we are sorry. Namespawn says, I know you already mentioned that they all know about the dragon from birth. That's really similar to Plato's theory of anamnesis that can help with that part. How they all know about the dragons and stuff. I am not familiar with that. What is that? And how do you... Anamnesis. Posits the claim that learning involves the act of rediscovering knowledge from within oneself. Interesting. Divine Door, Big Hole name. Are you sure that Big Hole is not the Big Hole name? So yeah, that's a nice thing. Is that you can click and get the thing. I'm curious what our graph looks like. This is another cool thing that Obsidian does, is a visualization of all of your notes and how they link to each other. So we can actually see how everything relates. So like this is all the stuff that's linking to and from Dragonia, and you can sort of see how everything connects. And you can do some fun stuff. Let's make the nodes bigger, lines thicker. Very good. You can play with the force of everything. You can also include colorized tags and stuff, which is neat. Groups, new group. Okay, whatever. Don't worry about that. Here's also very cool, is you can actually have it replay the time lapse of your graph. So like I can press this button. This is going to show how we built this world and how the connections were formed and changed over time. So it's quite literally like animating in each of these nodes is a document that we put into our vault and then linked to all the different stuff. So you can actually watch the entire history, no matter how old your vault is, on how everything went, which is just sick. Jamie says, do you already have a steady streaming schedule or just whenever you have time? I stream and yes. I have been streaming on a steady schedule for like almost a year. We're coming up on like a year, which is whack. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Friday afternoons, Wednesday evenings. It's all Eastern time. So Monday and Fridays, I do afternoon tea times, which is just sort of like a chill. I drink tea, we chat about stuff, play some games, stuff like that. And then on Wednesdays, they are now World Building Wednesdays, where we do stuff like this, having chats with guests, etc. It'll change over time. But anyway, yeah, the graph view is cool. So why do some people end up this way? Where did we land on that? I think we were talking about either they are the most powerful souls or the most untouched souls. The only reason that I want to lean towards they're the most powerful souls is if they were the most powerful souls as dragons, like not necessarily as mortals, but as dragons, that would be very interesting in terms of creating dynamics between dragons back in Dragonia. If an Ember Touched goes back into being a dragon and learns that they were like an ancient elder dragon this whole time, like that is very, very fascinating. Because if we do make Ember Touched people be like, I don't want to have them be like a lower class, but like I like the idea of them just being like changed in some way. Still thinking. Pure versus powerful. I like the idea that they're pure, innocent souls. Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. So if your dragon soul is pure, is like nascent, interesting. Pure but also powerful. Maybe becoming Ember Touch works more like a disability where they struggle to function day to day. Maybe because it like puts them between worlds in some way. Oh, okay. What if they are like tormented by like unknowable visions of Dragonia? Yeah. Like a concept of person stuck between living and dead so they can see dead souls. Yes. What if it's like, whereas everyone that's normal has a concept of a dragon, Ember Touched like literally see them, like have nightmares of them, like are haunted by like draconic visages. It's like not necessarily a good thing to become Ember Touched, but they're like also kind of oracles because of it. So they're like, they could be exalted, but they could also be reviled It really just depends on how they leverage this affliction. Okay. Digging it. So, an ember touched mortal. An ember touched mortal is someone who fell partially into the big hole, but possessed a dragon's soul pure enough to prevent total annihilation of their body before being able to escape the hole. How? Ember touched people. Ember touched people's bodies are partially dissolved and permanently are covered in a bluish white sparkly vibe over large parts of their body. If I can use the exact the exact inspo that I'm thinking of, let me pull that up real quick. See if I'm able to even find it. Yes. So, a show that's very good is She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And there is you should watch it if you haven't. There is a event that happens
like some kind of
where essentially the world is ending and everybody's dropping into big holes left and right. But one of the characters, the cat lady, she basically, this happens. She gets partially taken by this world-ending force, but she escapes, and now she looks like this. Her body is half taken, and that's kind of what I'm picturing. But instead of black, it's bluish sparkly. Anyway, yeah, She-Ra's fucking amazing. I love that show so goddamn much. Trip says, I like the idea Milo suggested. What if there's two kinds of Ember touched? One group that's powerful and they develop blue and white scale marks, and the innocent is the description you just wrote. I like it. I'm not going to do that right now. Just purely from a logistics perspective. Continuing to fork is just not a thing I can do at this point. But love the idea of additional variants of Ember touched, but I want to get the first thing done. They are, maybe make a note to come back to later. This is the last night I'm working on this world. So any ideas that y'all have that you want to do, I encourage you to take the world when the vault is released, which it already is, but I'm gonna update it after tonight. And make whatever changes you want to it. But this is going to be the last night of working on this world, so no worries about holding over stuff. And if your idea does not make it into this world, that is not a slight against you. That is just a function of me trying to orchestrate doing a world building activity for an unknown sized group of people in a chat box over here on my screen. So there's that. They are tormented by visions of dragons, which they cannot understand. Nightmares, daydreams, and hauntings of draconic figures in the darkness. This causes Ember Touched to be revered as seers of a kind. Different Ember Touch per faction of the Sacred Wings. Now that's fascinating, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay. So what have we accomplished so far in our goals? More info on the city? I mean, technically. We technically did that. Okay, determine the physical shape of Dragonia. Let's do that. We've not at all really talked about what Dragonia is. So appearance. Okay, hold on. Backing up. Dragonia is the non-mortal plane. In this plane, the only thing that can exist is dragon. That is the only living thing in this plane. So what does that mean? So dragons are everywhere. It's all sorts of dragons. It's possible there's not really any notion of land. This is just sort of like an infinite void. Think like astral plane is kind of what I got here. So I'm kind of thinking floating islands because magic. Yeah. Love the idea of floating isles. Okay. Everything is dragons here. I think that the dragons probably range from like massive to small, but everything is dragon. So like, let's say, okay. Floating islands. Swirly stuff. Yeah, that seems right. I'm picturing very cosmic. I'm literally just picturing, like, if you just look at like the stream, like look at the stream around me right now, right? Look at this color scheme behind me. Look at the purple. Look at the swirly. We've got like a nebula. We've got like a nebula over here, right? I'm kind of thinking like this nebula, right? I'm kind of thinking that it's just gonna have a vibe similar to like astral plane stuff. Maybe we shouldn't do this, let it be molded to one's experiencing the story. I think that there's plenty of room to, one, edit as you see fit. Again, this is all being released under Creative Commons. You can obliterate this and do whatever you want. But I'm gonna keep down this path here. Dragonflies are fly-sized dragons. That's very good. That's very good. Dragons range from gargantuan in size to tiny little guys. King of the Salmon says, could there be one massive dragon that's used as an island? One massive dragon whose body is used as an island. Sleeping, maybe? King of the Sea says, I really like the idea that smaller dragons are some of the most powerful. But small dragons don't mean not powerful. Namesbond says, so is it like the astral plane? So it's the astral plane where some of the souls come from. Therefore, they carry on some of the knowledge. Like the knowledge, if you come from Mortalis back to Dragonia, you keep your knowledge. Lemon Emmy says, do dragons look like what we think of when we talk about dragons? I'm mostly picturing that, yeah. But I'm also picturing, like, I'm kind of picturing every variant of dragons that like humanity has come up with, as well as creatures that can reasonably be called draconic in nature. Good spaces for flying. Also, what would lots of big flying creatures do to an environment over time? That is a good question. Asking questions about what the creatures would do that impacts their environment. Okay, so gotta have lots of room to stretch your wangs. Nope, wings, not wangs. Don't stretch your wangs. Stop it. Okay. All sorts of dragons. Okay, so King of the Sea says, my immediate thought was something where it's incredibly white and open, similar to when you learn skills in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, but I also like the idea, the nebula idea. I think it probably I'm imagining massive islands with lots of like magic waterfalls that are like waterfalling onto each other. Like their islands are like stacked up, sort of like over each other in like they're huge. And so there's like tons and tons and tons of room between them to fly around. But there's like a huge like magical waterfall from like one island to another that like turns into a river and flows down into another and just kind of like stacked on top, infinitely up and down and in all directions. And it's dragons. At the middle is the big dragon. Like that should be the dragon island, the island that is a giant sleeping dragon. Like that should be the functional equivalent of a dragon god, and should be the like magnetic north, basically. Oh, I was scrolled down. Whoops. Wind is gonna be strong everywhere. Okay, so let's. The islands of Dragonia. Dragonia is populated with thousands of massive floating islands of varying landscape, all of which share, I think there's a single stream of magic water that connects every single island, like binding them to this reality. So the water doesn't just flow down across a bunch of them. It like flows, like some of them, it sometimes like flows up to another island, becomes a river, flows down. I'm imagining like if you can picture each of these like islands as like a piece of paper, I'm imagining just like taking a thread, like a needle and thread, and just like needle and threading through every single sheet. Gravity defying. We love gravity defying water here. Is the big island an actual giant dragon, or is it like a big dragon carcass, or just a big stone that looks like a dragon? Lemon says, I gotta go eat dinner. I'll leave a lurk. Have fun, friends. Take care, Lemon. I'll talk to you very soon, I promise. Check your inbox shortly after this stream. I think it probably should be a giant hibernating dragon. I like the idea of it being the source of the water. Giant hibernating water dragon. And like it's technically like it's a magical drool, I guess. That the water emanates from this central ultra powerful dragon, bringing life to Dragonia in all directions, connecting all of these floating islands. It's a water dragon, and all the universe is because of it. And also that okay, we can then say, and I think this was Crimson also talking about, this is a twist on what Crimson suggested like 2 sessions ago, maybe? The light, the hull, the big hull, could be, let's say, okay, hold on. Let's say the giant dragon is seeping power. It's seeping magic. It's not supposed to be, but because of the big hole, that is essentially like the garden hose with which this dragon's magic is flowing into.
Sounds like rebellion
mortality
to me.
So it's like this godlike dragon, whose divine water is what brings Dragonia together, is having its power drained over time into Mortalis. BBEG was trying to become the new dragon god, and that's how he got zapped into Mortalis and started it all. Interesting. Okay. The islands of Dragonia, all of which share a common single stream of magic water, which connects all life in Dragonia. This water originates at the big dragon, which name TBD. Needs name. Oh, Oh, Milo got a 17. Water originates from the big dragon, which is a massive hibernating water dragon and is considered to be the most powerful being in existence. It forms the central island in Dragonia due to its incomprehensibly massive size. Nah, I'm gonna say scale. Get it? The big hole is actually... The big hole is the manifestation of the depletion of the big dragon's magic into Mortalis. Okay. Maybe it just kind of has water that drips off of it, which I guess is kind of sweat, but it grosses me out less than drool. I mean, I think that it's fair to say that, like, the entire dragon is just, like, existing atop a pool of water that is just ever pouring out in all directions. Doesn't have to be gross, but... the big dragon needs a name. I have named the big dragon. I will not be taking criticism. Now we're world building. Flinagore Paw Smashington. Was it ever a world without a Flynn? The mighty dragon, feared among its own kind. Flynn. Flanagan Wagtail. Flynn Somar. Robin says, I gotta go. Just a quick hit and run today. Have fun. Talk to y'all on Friday, I hope. Take care, Robin. See you Friday. Let's take another gander at our to-dos. All right, so we got the physical shape of Dragonia, name the BBEG, and finalize their motivation, which I think we also just kind of did. Motivation. Originally attempted to dethrone the big dragon, and the consequence was to be forced out of Dragonia. Little did the big dragon know what sequence of events it would set off. Jazz says, does very unrelated subject, does anyone else hate when someone calls you? Yes. I don't need to read the rest of it. When someone calls me, I hate it. And neither you nor them have anything to talk about, and it's 90% silence. I cannot deal with that. I cannot deal with being stuck in, like, needing to, like, I can't go do things. I have, like, a social contract to be here. Ugh. I can't because it's my mother. Well, time to hook up ChatGPT to, like, one of those, like, voice generators. And then hook that up to your phone and have that handle your phone calls from now on. Very healthy. Very normal. Very good. Okay. Name the BBEG and then tidy up the vault. I will probably clean up the vault a little bit, go over a few of the things that we've got going on, like make sure that everything like is sound, clean up any like links and whatnot, and then I will post this online and show you all how you can grab your own copy. Nilfmund the Betrayer. I'm seeing Imund, says Crimson. Nilfmund the Betrayer. Lots of Mund. Nilf. Is Nilf a thing? NNYLF? Is that a thing I should be aware of? NNYLF. The National Youth Leadership Forum National Security. Sponsored by George Mason University? Is that what you... Oh, it's Flynn backwards. Interesting.
Look who's out here re-upping their sub.
J Potato subscribed. Woo, finally gets to join world building for a bit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Congrats on the 16. Nilfton. Nilfmund. Imud. How about Nilfime? Nilfame? I don't like the double N. Nilfheim? Saw an author named Rochelle name her dragon world Elicor, which was her name backwards. That's a great backwards name though. Elicor? That's sick. That's so rad. Nilfheim? About like... How about like the worst name I can possibly think of? Brantley. Like imagine being named Brantley. If your name is Brantley, I'm sorry. Imagine being you. Like if my name was Brantley, I too would try to dethrone a god in the helps of in the hope of salvation. Brantley. Oh god, with the EIGH. That's my name. Wait, is that really your name? There's no way that's your name, Salmon. There's no way that's your name. I refuse. Okay. Nymad, because it's Damien backwards. What's Endeavorance backwards? Word reverser. Endeavorance reverse. A Knarovindni. Okay. Okay. How are we feeling about that? How are we feeling? Ignarovedni rolls off the tongue. Ved. I'm seeing Ved. Ved. Oh no. Vedith. Vedithor. It's got all the hallmarks of a BBEG name. It starts with a hard V. It's got a Y in the middle of it. It's got an or. It ends with Thor. Hello, Hardly Mythical says, oh my God, I made it. Welcome. I'm glad that you made it. New phone, who dis? Vaden the Beginning. Wait. That's really fucking good. Wait a minute.
Look who's out here re-upping.
Where did the beginning come
themselves
from?
like
That's
some
so
kind of
good.
hero.
Vaden's really good. I do need to do that. I can't do EA. It's got to be AE still. But like it's still like it's still like it's derived from Endeavorance. I like it. How do we feel about Vaden? Vaedyn? The reason I went with the E is because like these are all letters that are found in Endeavorance. I could do a Y. I'm gonna keep it as an E. I feel like the Y is a step just. Bring in the Y from Flynn. Needs a title? I actually think it works great without a title. The Beginning, First Dragon Immortalis. Okay, The Beginning is good though. That's a good title. How's that for a title? Vaden, Genesis of Mortality. Which is like both a descriptor and kind of an insult, and like a reminder of their failure. Too long? Fuck you, too long? Nah. Whoa, hold on. No, you think that's too long? Are you kidding me? Do you have any idea how titles work? It needs like 40 more words. Too long. I'll give you too long. Vaden, Genesis of Mortality. The Beginning. Fell Slayer. Draconic Fallen. The Unwon. Gross and also kinda hot. The multi-named, almost Flynn backwards. The destroyer of word counts. Long live him, and long type his name. There. Is that better? Is that too long? Is that? What was the fucking? Hold on. Y'all ever? Oh no! I clicked out and it updated the links. Oh no! Wait. So if I got. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Do y'all ever listen to Hello from the Magic Tavern? I don't even know if they're even still a thing anymore. Hello from the Magic Tavern. It was a podcast that it was a dude interviewing people at a magic tavern. He fell through a dimensional portal behind, I think it was a Burger King. Yeah. Fell through a dimensional portal behind a Burger King and found himself in basically Narnia, and is like at a tavern recording a podcast interviewing the locals. And there was a mainstay on the show. I don't know if they still are. Yes. Okay. Yes. This. This, you want to talk about long names. So they introduce themselves every single episode. And one of the characters, his name was Usador the Blue, Wizard of the 12th Realm of Ephesius, Master of Light and Shadow, Manipulator of Magical Delights, Devourer of Chaos, Champion of the Great Halls of Tarakas. The elves know him as Fiang Yalak, the dwarves know him as Zonin Hugstanges, and he is known in the Northeast as Gasmanius Maystar. And there may be other secret names that you do not know yet. And he introduced himself as this character with this full name every episode. The other main character's name is Chunt. That is his full name. Chunt. So yeah, you could get this on like a shirt, like a hello, my name is, and then it just writes like all the way down and around the shirt. Such a good show. That's what I was thinking of with the name there. So let's just go back to Vaden, Genesis of Immortality. Sounds like rebellion propaganda to me. What if he adds a new name every time he shows up? So that character in that show would do that. Like he would gain additional names over time and whatnot. Vaden Gom. Okay, so Vaden. Vaden was the first person to be forced into the first dragon to be forced into Mortalis. He attempted to slay the big dragon to take its place as the dragon god, but failed to do so because he was honestly, he was just kind of mid. So he got pushed out into Mortalis by the big dragon, where he became the original mortal. He has since spent his life after realizing his attunement to his dragon's soul, Vaden ooh, how about this? Vaden eventually discovered the big hole. Which, upon gazing upon the light of the big hole, of the hole, gazing upon the beauty of the hole, Vaden felt a familiar presence, the big dragon's magic. From this, Vaden was able to reattune to his soul and discovered a way to pull more souls across the planar barrier. Kind of hand waving how he figured all that out. But that is an exercise for the reader. Vaden would go on to found the Order of the Soul Scales, becoming the first Dragonborn after his botched attempt at Draconic Reconstitution. Okay. Now, if you see me deleting things that were already here, it's not necessarily destructive. So I just deleted a bunch of like the original notes and some random bullet points, and I'm about to go through and clean up a bunch of the documents in the vault. All of this is uploaded to the Astral Foundry, which is a custom version control app thing that is launched for members of my community. Long story short, as I make changes and delete things, there's still a backup copy of previous versions of this vault available. So we're not gonna lose stuff that we wrote just because it was deleted. It's still there in the version history. Doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm saying these words right now. Checked Thetan levels. Hey yo, the Thetan levels. Name of the big dragon, Melinda, the ancient one. Like Melinda Gates, maybe? Bill and Melinda Gates. Vaden is now Bill, and the big dragon is now Melinda. And this has all just been a corollary or a metaphor for vaccinations. Okay. We've named Vaden. We've done a bit more info on the city. Did a bit about the shape of Dragonia. Let's tidy up the vault. Let's start kind of like putting a bow on this and get this out into the hands of the people. Let's do it. I want to start this process by just sort of like bringing everybody up to speed on like what the fuck we have here. Like, if you are not a person who's used to using Obsidian, if you don't really know like how to approach this at all, like if you want to play with this but you're a little intimidated by it, I would like to demystify it for you. So, Obsidian is just a note-taking app. And all we have here are a bunch of notes. Just think of it like a bunch of documents, and they can all link to each other. That is the vast majority of all we have done here. But there's a few other things I would like to do. One of which is get some plugins installed in this vault to make things a little bit nicer, just a smidge nicer. So we're going to install a couple of plugins. We're going to install Icon Eyes, which will give us the ability to add icons in places. That'll be nice. We probably want homepage. We like homepage, so that there's going to be a homepage. Anything else immediately catching my eye? That's probably good. That's probably fine. Yeah. So, homepage. Our homepage is going to be welcome. On startup, open when empty. Okay. Plugins. All right. Okay, so we now have a homepage, which is nice. When we close out all of our documents, it's going to take us back to the welcome page. This vault contains the results of 3 days or 3 streams of world building Wednesdays with the Astral Campgrounds community. Thank you to everyone who pitched in, shared ideas, collaborated, and made a really, honestly, pretty dang neat concept for a world. Okay. I expected this to take a lot longer. I mean, it's a pretty light concept. Like this is not a fully fleshed out world. But we did get a decent amount of stuff sort of like established. Also, I need to big hole is a location, Ember Touch is a concept. Hole sorcerers. I'm gonna delete that file. Random thoughts to consider. I think we are good on that. Big dragon is a people. We'll get back to that. Okay. Okay. What world do we build next week? I am not answering that question. Because I do not know if we're going to be doing world building next week or if we're going to be doing a more of like a Q&A sort of Atlas Lumi discussion-y kind of thing. So, yeah. World building Wednesdays will not always be exclusively just doing this. It'll be doing various stuff in the space of world building. Sometimes it's going to be literally just building a world. This is not the last one we're doing by any means, but there may be other things that I want to do. It's just sort of a time slot for me to find fun things to do in the space of world building. So, all right, we installed Iconize. Let's get a bunch of icons available so that we can use them. Enable. Settings. Options, that's what I'm looking for. Icon packs. Install a bunch of icon packs. Let's do RPG Awesome. So this just like is a plugin that lets us use a bunch of icons in places. It's nice. There's a bunch of like pre-made icon packs that you can use. So now I can like go over to here and be like, change icon. We'll do, oh hey, I can make it Amazon. Chest? Is there like a box? Like sword. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait. No, replace the style settings. Components? File Explorer. Remove custom icon. There we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, music. Okay. So yeah, I can set custom icons for all of our different stuff. So world information, change icon, world. Nope. Nope. World. There. Utility. That's gonna be a wrench. Yeah. Scratch, I think we don't need anymore. Yeah. Planes. Sparkles, maybe? Shimmer? Mirror? Yes. People. Change icon. Hello, Arrhythmia. Person. People. Silhouette. Profile? Head? I need a good icon. Contact. There we go. Yes, contacts. Perfect. Okay, locations. Map. Factions. It's gonna be building? Concepts. Thought. Nope. Brain. Arrhythmia has redeemed Dev rolls dice. Okay. I'm gonna roll 2d20. Both of the big boys. I'm gonna roll them by throwing them behind me. But it's gonna be no, wait. Okay, I got it. What is a rug if not the biggest dice box? The biggest dice rolling mat that I have. You ready? What do we got? That's a nat one.
That's rough, buddy.
Uh, 12 and 1 for a 13. There you go, Arrhythmia. Where is Flynn? He is not out here today. I apologize profusely. Okay, so we've got our welcome. We've got some nice iconized side stuff here. So let's just real quick go through everything that we've come up with, everything that we've collectively just thrown together over the course of just like a few hours, over the course of a few weeks. Like, pretty rad. So, currency. Wyverium scales are used as currency in this world. J Potato says, hopping off to dinner. Hope everyone has a good night and hydrate. I got you. I got you. Beef. Okay. Death and reconstitution. In Mortalis, there are two ways your life may end. Death. If you just kind of die like anyone normally would, you die. And you're just dead. Forever. No soul anymore. Nice try. Sucks to suck. Reconstitution. If you are able to become one with the dragon spirit attached to your mortal form, we're going to change this a bit. If you're able to reach pure attunement to your dragon soul, you can achieve draconic reconstitution and return to Dragonia, maintaining your spirit, life, and memories. Hey, where do people here land on the Oxford comma? Because every single time that I go to like need it, I ask myself where I land on it and change my mind every time. If you're not familiar, the Oxford comma is a bonus comma at the end of a list of words in a sentence. So if I were to say like, we went out to eat fish, ice cream, and candy. This comma is the Oxford comma. Alternatively, without it, it would be we went out to eat fish, ice cream, and candy. So this is with the Oxford comma, with the comma between the last two things. This is without. So the problem is, without, it feels like it could be we went out to eat fish and then ice cream and candy are the same, but with, it keeps them separate. I almost exclusively do use it, and every time that I use it, I question myself. I'm seeing nothing but support for the Oxford comma in chat. So, asked and answered. All right, reconstitution, that is good. Draconic phenomena. Weird, inexplicable magic shit that happens sometimes. So, this term generally refers to the ever-increasing slew of inexplicable magic stuff. Inexplicable changes to the world. Examples of draconic phenomena include earthquakes, newly formed volcanoes, strange weather patterns, and more. These issues are caused by the continued degradation of the barrier between Mortalis and Dragonia. As the Order of the Soul Scales continues to encourage people to become Dragonborn. Yay, spell check. We're a bunch of neurodivergent nerds. We love the Oxford comma. Yep. Fair, fair, fair. Trip says, I love my parents. I love my parents, Ayn Rand and Gandhi. Yeah, classic example. Draconic Reconstitution. This is when a mortal turns back into a dragon. If they were pious, if they were properly attuned to their dragon soul, they return to Dragonia as a dragon to maintain their memory. If you fail to return to form, you become Dragonborn. The Order of the Soul Scales called this upscaling. That's not true. That is... Wait. Yeah, this is a different thing. This is why it's good to review your vault. So we have a conflict here. According to this, the Order of the Soul Scales refers to turning into a Dragonborn as upscaling. However, we've previously said that upscaling is when a mortal who is attuned to their soul is able to temporarily graft a dragon body part onto their body. Which one's upscaling? Grafting a dragon body part onto yourself or becoming Dragonborn? I think grafting it onto yourself is what I would prefer, but I very softly prefer that. Crimson says becoming Dragonborn should be upscaling. Dragon is upscale. Wait. Dragon or Dragonborn? What does dragon as upscale mean? Dragonborn is unnamed. Dragon is upscale. Reaching part dragon is upscaling. That is what we originally called it. Yeah. Robin says, okay, now I really got to go. I'm off to see Challengers and see if the sexy tennis awakens anything in me. That movie, I haven't seen it. I'm probably not going to see it. It seems like softcore bi porn is how I've seen it described, which I'm not mad about. I literally don't know what it's about. And maybe that's fine. But like, from the trailer, it appears to be two dudes are trying to sleep with Zendaya, who doesn't really care about either of them. The movie. And I don't know why it exists. I genuinely don't know what else is the point of the movie. Like, I don't know. And it's fine that it exists. I'm not mad. I'm just confused. Then she breaks her legs and shenanigans. Like, the idea is that she was a promising sports girl, but then isn't. Two tennis dudes bang tennis girl while competing for love she's not giving. That just sounds... I'm trying to find a good way to... Being a dude who has had his fair share of vying for a girl's affection when she wasn't giving it and other guys were also doing the same, and I just felt strung along or something. This movie just sounds like multiple hours of anxiety and reliving deeply uncomfortable experiences in my life. Like, I don't want to watch a movie about a woman, like, stringing along two guys. Is there more to the movie? Like what is it? I don't just... I don't know. I don't know. Do you think it's weird incel projection? Like the movie? I think it's trying to go the other direction. Like, I think it's supposed to be empowering. Like, I think it's supposed to be, here is a story of like sexuality in which the woman is in control, which is like deeply unrepresented in movies, right? And so I'm here for that. Like, I'm here for the sex positive approach. I'm here for like having a movie in which a woman has control over the situation. That's rad. Cool. Also,
Focus.
it just, I watched the trailer and I'm like, I know nothing about this movie except for she's not interested in these guys. Okay. Getting back to it. So, yeah, literally in upscaling. Yeah, so upscaling is when a creature temporarily invokes the aspect of a dragon, grafting it to their body, which is different from transforming into a dragon and rejoining Dragonia. That is called Draconic Reconstitution. Bye, Robin. So, yeah. Draconic Reconstitution is fully returning to Dragonia. Upscaling is the result of where we originally had the idea of the hot girl transformations, or the anime girl transformations. Same thing. That's what this is. All right. So we don't have a conflict, but we do. The order of the soul scales prefers this, while Sacred Ring calls it failed formation. That's a little confusing. Why do we have Draconic Reconstitution in this? I don't know what you are asking. Like, Reconstitution is returning to Dragonia and being a dragon. Why do we have it in upscale? It's just differentiating. I can say this is different from when someone is able to, like, it's just explaining the difference between the two. But we can just get rid of that. That's fair. Wyverium. Oh, wait. Draconic Reconstitution, Dragon. Oh, hey, this is actually kind of already normal. Dragon's soul. Every mortal living in Mortalis is actually housing the soul of a dragon that has been pulled out of Dragonia. Since dragons cannot exist in Mortalis, when a dragon is forced out of Dragonia and into Mortalis, its soul is reincarnated into a mortal being, and its body is formed into Wyverium, and its original dragon body is formed into Wyverium at the edge of the known world. Dragonborn, the result of a botched draconic reconstitution, but believed to be the ultimate mortal form by the Order of the Soul Scales. The increasing prevalence of Dragonborn in Mortalis is slowly causing a breakdown of the magic that separates Dragonia and Mortalis, causing reality to unravel, resulting in draconic phenomena. Ember Touched. An Ember Touched mortal is someone who fell partially into the big hole, but possessed a dragon soul pure enough to prevent it from total annihilation of their body before being able to escape the hole. I guess just leave that. Ember Touched people's bodies, I should just say Ember Touched bodies, are partially dissolved and permanently permanently covered in a blue and white sheen over large parts of their body. They are tormented by visions of dragons. They're tormented by visions of dragons which they cannot understand. Nightmares, daydreams, and there's a missing Oxford comma. And hauntings of draconic figures in the darkness. This causes Embertouch to be revered as seers of a kind. Known world. The world, but just what we know of it. Magic. Magic in Mortalis is fueled by the ambient movement of dragons in Dragonia. Their mere existence produces magic which emanates like waves, sometimes crossing the planar boundaries into Mortalis through the big hole. As the bounds between the planes continue to erode and from the growth of the Order of the Soul Scales, these waves are becoming more prevalent, increasing the power of magic in Mortalis. Magic can be leveraged by one of two ways by people living in Mortalis. They can use equipment made out of Wyverium, or if they are deeply attuned to their dragon soul, they can inherently leverage magic. Radio. The use of radio in this world is prevalent, most notably by the two orders. Technology. Mortalis is in a gilded age of innovation at the intersection of magic and tech. Magic is more readily available to study due to the goings-ons of the Order and Dragon phenomena. As medical science advances, people are torn between sticking with magical healing, which can be messy, or accepting medical science. Upscaling Wyverium. A magical metal formed when dragons cross over from Dragonia to Mortalis. It is what happens when the dragon's mortal form enters Mortalis. It is what happens... It is formed from the corpse of the dragon forced out of Dragonia. The crust layer of Mortalis is made of Wyverium. As more dragons are pulled into Mortalis, the breadth of the walkable land of Mortalis expands as more Wyverium appears. This means that in order to obtain more Wyverium, people must continue to venture further and further out into the wilds. Wyverium scales also act as currency in this world. Okay. Those are the concepts, the factions. We got the Order of the Soul Scales. Oh no. Oh, this is okay. The Order of the Soul Scales is a pseudo-religious organization who believes that the ultimate mortal form is that of the Dragonborn. Encourages followers of their faith to become Dragonborn. They are led by Vaden, Genesis of Mortality. Background is glitchy? What background? I saw that too. Wait. Background of what? Wait. Ah! I have no idea what you're talking about. Background of what? Sacred Wings. Scale of Transcendence. We haven't talked about this today at all. Some kind of MacGuffin makes it easier to become Dragonborn. Used by the Soul Scales. Probably made of Wyverium. Needs more info. I'm going to leave a few needs more info in here. I would encourage people, by the way, to like if you're going to take this world and like continue, like I'm seeing chatter about like naming things and like coming up with more stuff. Like 100%, I super encourage y'all to coordinate that and continue to coordinate it in the world building channel in Discord, as well as here, you know, while we're here. But if you want to continue working on this world, like this world doesn't need to end here just because I'm not continuing doing it on World Building Wednesday. And maybe we'll come back to it eventually. Maybe we will someday come back and review the changes that the community has made while we were gone. You know, like there's the world is our oyster, and we're also making the world. So we're the ones that made the oyster in the first place. That makes sense. And so, yeah, if you have ideas, if you have stuff that you want to coordinate, if you want to work together to continue building this out, super encourage you to do so. And I would love to follow it. The city doesn't need a name. It's just called the city. Okay. People. Big dragon. Needs name. Name is Flanagan Wagtail. Let's just... Possible name. Flanagan Wagtail. These, essentially the god of dragons. And the central figure in Dragonia. This dragon is a water dragon and constantly emanates. God, I always fuck up emanates. Constantly emanates enchanted water and enchanted flow of water, which flows freely throughout the plane, connecting all of the floating isles of Dragonia. And then Vaden, Genesis of Mortality. Got our planes, Dragonia and Mortalis. Oopa. Oopa. Mortalis is a plane opposite Dragonia, in which dragons cannot exist. Things found here. The city. Big hole. All living creatures in Mortalis carry within them a dragon soul. Having originally been a dragon. Yeah, just leave it at that. All right. What's in utility? Oh, assets. Okay. And then world info, stuff about magic. I'll delete that. It's in the history. We'll keep that too. Should not versus cannot. I think it is cannot. Because Dragonborn aren't dragons, but they are an affront to the laws of physics. I think it's murky. It's really murky, right? Because that gets into like, I guess just semantics. Because should not implies that if it is not, then shit's breaking. Laws of magic, yeah. Cool. So, I am going to now show you where you can grab your own copy. The Astral Foundry. And I will share this link. In Discord and here soon. So, all of this will be uploaded to the Astral Foundry, which is git.astral.camp. Don't worry about it yet. I'll link directly to it. Oh, it's pinned? Perfect. there is a little, just like a thing that has all the files here, so you can actually just browse all the files right here if you want to. You can just like read what we've written outside of Obsidian, and it's no problem. But then there is a place to download your own copy. Right now we only have the last week's version up, but after I finish up this stream, I will upload the latest version of everything. I'll link it again in Discord. You'll be able to download it. You'll be able to just unzip it and load it into Obsidian and do whatever, or use whatever editor you want to edit the text files, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this will go up momentarily, which is good. And I think with that, we put a bow on the dragon world. Boop. Just like put a little. My fingers are bow. I'm losing my mind, I think. Y'all, what did you think of the first world attempt? The first world build. This was very much I have no idea what I'm planning to do here. Let's see how it goes kind of situation. I'm gonna take a couple of weeks probably off of doing just the straight up world building, and instead do a couple other things. Like I said, like a Q&A stream, and like maybe like interviewing somebody about their world kind of thing. Unclear exactly what's in the future for us, but curious to hear thoughts on like how this went. I learned a lot, and we'll definitely be making some changes on like how we approach all of this in the future. Hopefully streamlining things. But yeah, like I am thrilled with what we came up with. Like it is so far and beyond what I thought we were going to do. Like I was setting out to expect like, oh, we're gonna build a world. It's gonna have continents and some towns. But nope, we were like, well, what if there's just like a big hole and a giant dragon and also people transforming into and out of being dragons? Absolutely rad. Weedy Potter says, I missed last week, but very fun. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This was fun, even with descending into the giant fleshy hole, says Trips. Oh, God. The giant fleshy hole. Jesus Christ. Can we raid Lilith? Oh, we absolutely can raid Lilith. Are they streaming right now? Are they doing that right now? Lilith. Nox. Oh, playing Hades 2. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Sneaking to hydrate again. I gotta do my goodbye. I'm on. Y'all are trying to get away. Wow. Wow. I haven't even said goodbye, and y'all are just trying to get out of here. Like y'all are just trying to like. You're like, hey, can we stop looking at your fucking face? Like, can we stop dealing with your stupid fucking face, and go raid someone we actually like Lilith? God, fine. Well, if you feel like it. Since apparently you just want to get away from me, if you feel like it, you can check out my fucking, I don't know, my Patreon or something, I guess. I've got a Patreon. Cool. All right. And if you want some tea and coffee from some really cool people, you can use my coupon code at Many Worlds Tavern to get some really excellent coffee and really excellent tea and support queer people in the TTRPG space. So, you know, fine. And then there's my my merch store and stuff. But I mean, I know, but you don't care. You don't care. Fine. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. And like, this world is fucking cool, and I'm probably going to try to run a one shot in it at least. I think that's very cool. I think we did good. I think you did good. I think I did good. I think we did good. I'm gonna upload this world. I'll share it again in Discord. But for now, we're gonna raid a demon. Our raid command When we get there, everybody spam spam. You know what? Shower them with love. Spam the dev heart emoji. Spam the dev heart, but then also throw some flins in there. All right, here we go. Raiding. Start raid. All right. Okay. 7 seconds to raid. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Thanks for hanging out. Take care. Be well. We ride at now.